Hi, everyone, and welcome to the special simulcast, the Neil Haley Show and Celebrity Interviews without Greg Hanna today. And my guest today is Josh Gates, Expedition Unknown. Josh, you know what? I don't know when our first interview was on a radio tour years ago. Can you believe your growth from that first time you were doing this to now?
I can't. I mean, it turns out that people love adventure and they love mysteries. And so I am very lucky that all these years later, here we are still going off into the unknown, exploring all this stuff, and that folks are joining us on those adventures. I love it.
So it is absolutely amazing. And what do you think you've learned in these expeditions? First and foremost.
Well, first and foremost, when we first started out, I remember thinking, hey, if this show is ever a success, are we going to run out of active mysteries to go investigate? And the big thing I've learned is we're not. There are unbelievable mysteries and stories from our past that are still waiting to be uncovered. I mean, I kids sometimes come up to me and say, "Are there still things out there to find?" And it's like, "Oh, you have no idea. Like there are pyramids out there to find. There's treasures out there to find. There's entire civilizations we barely understand." And so the biggest thing I've learned is that it's a big world and there's a lot of history in it.
Definitely a big world with a lot of history. And I love history as I have an undergrad in history. And when you learn new things, it's like, I never thought I discovered this. I never thought this was out there, right?
Totally. And the amazing thing about history is, we can discover things on the show, be out there for some big archaeological discovery, but just the act of reading about history or learning about history is a discovery, right? I mean, when you learn about a part of our past that you didn't know about, it's super exciting. One of our shows this season is on a pirate named Black Bart Roberts or Bartholomew Roberts. This is a guy that was not totally on my radar, but he really should be because he was like maybe the most successful pirate in the golden age of piracy. And we all know Blackbeard, we all know Captain Morgan, but like Bartholomew Roberts, right? This guy took like 400 ships. And his death marked the end of the golden age of piracy. And so reading about him, I'm like, this is amazing. Like you feel like you're discovering a whole new world every time you learn about these things. So that's what I love about the show.
So, pirates, did you find any buried treasure yet?
Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but this guy Black Bart Roberts, three of his ships, including his flagship, were brought to Jamaica, and they sank in a hurricane off of Port Royal. Port Royal was this infamous pirate city on the coast of Jamaica, the basis for the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and movie,
Right.
right? And a lot of that city sank in an earthquake. And so three pirate ships are down there in the bottom of this sunken remains of the harbor of Port Royal. So we're working with marine archaeologists to go down there and see if we can identify this
Oh,
guy's
yeah.
ships. I have to
So,
say,
so
in
you
terms
don't
of
want to
pirate
steal it,
treasure,
but have you ever found buried treasure?
yes, I found pirate treasure in wrecks before. What's amazing about pirate ships is very few of them have ever been found.
Yeah.
Like pirates did not really bury
Yeah.
treasure on
Yeah.
land. That whole thing is like a kind of invention. Actually, not even that old an invention. But their ships definitely contain treasure, and only like less than half a dozen pirate ships, authenticated pirate ships, have ever been found. One of them, the Whydah Gally off of Cape Cod, I've been diving on and have found pieces of eight, have found coins
Right.
on that ship. So I have found pirate treasure, but not in a chest like on a deserted island.
Okay, so let's think about Goonies. So, do you get to keep the treasure, or what happens to the treasure if you find it?
So almost never is the answer. I mean, there's always a little moment where you pick up some beautiful golden thing or an artifact and you go, what if this just fell in my pocket? But of course, no. I mean, if we're at an archaeological site, but that stuff needs to be cataloged and
Uh,
studied. And if it's something really special, it ends up in a museum. Occasionally, when we're out doing some metal detecting on public land and there's no claim on it and we find something cool, we get to keep it. But usually that's like a beer tab or something. If it's
I
something
got it.
really special, they don't let me bring it home,
Okay.
sadly.
So, I love also about the World War II discovery. Talk about that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so this is our season premiere, and it's about a chapter of World War II. A lot of people probably don't know about. I certainly knew very little about it. Called Hell Ships. Hell Ships were these Japanese transports that were used to move Allied POWs during the war. These were effectively like floating prison camps, and they were at really brutal conditions. And a lot of guys died on these ships. And so in our season premiere, we're doing two different things. One, we're working with the US government, who has an agency called the DPAA, and all they do is to deal with POWs and MIAs. There is a known hell shipwreck in the Philippines, and they are parked on top of it with a vessel, and they are using hard hat divers to go down and to try to find human remains inside this wreckage of more than 200 American POWs. That's part of our show, a huge invitation for us to be able to join them. It was amazing. And also, we're working with this remarkable group called the Hell Ships Memorial Foundation that are looking for a hell ship that has never been found, called the Hafuku Maru. This ship went down with 1,000 Allied POWs aboard. So this is like really vital, difficult, dark history that's emotional, but it's super important. And I cannot wait for folks to see the premiere. There is a massive discovery in this show and some really incredible folks that have been working on this for a long time.
Powerful stuff. Now, one question that my co-host asks always is a celebrity type question, and this question for you, Josh, is this is really a deep one. What is the most important thing in life you've ever learned, Josh?
Uh, I mean, I think other than the very obvious but very true thing, which is that family is everything, I think the thing I've learned in my travels is that people are kind of the same everywhere you go. And in fact, even in more so in the places that are quote unquote dangerous or difficult or politically not allied with us, people care about their safety, their families, their history, their culture, their food. They're proud of where they're from, they're proud of their culture. If you show up anywhere, I don't care where it is, with open heart, open arms, and you say, I want to hear about your history, I want to eat your food, I want you to tell me about where you're from and who you are, you'll be treated like royalty. And that's the biggest lesson. People sometimes say, oh, do you ever worry about these places in the world you go? I mean, listen, you can get hit by a bus crossing the street where you live, right? So people are awesome everywhere you go. That's my big lesson.
I love this stuff, man. Best place we can find, check out the premiere. It's on Discovery Channel, and also you can catch up with the Discovery app. What day is it? Everything premiere?
That's right. Season premiere is Wednesday on Discovery, the 24th of June. We're on every Wednesday night. That's Adventure Wednesday on Discovery. Folks can learn more at discovery.com, or they can visit my website at joshgates.com to learn more about the show.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it, sir. You're doing some amazing fun
Thank
stuff.
you, man. Great to see you.
Enjoy. Great to see you too. All
Great
right.
to talk to you, buddy. Cheers.
You're welcome. Take care. Okay, thanks. Bye. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back. And that was special simulcast of The Neil Haley Show and the celebrity interviews live from the Grotto. Greg Hanna, guys. Take care.